Hello, I'm Chance,
Hey, I'm Sergio.
and this is Brick Wall Cinema.
Welcome to the party, pal! Oh my God. That's your home! Are you too good for your home? Answer me! I'm a peacock! You gotta let me fly!
Have you ever met a person you say, hey, let me get some parfaits? They say, hell no, I don't like no parfaits.
How's that for a slice of fried gold?
Hey, Sergio, do you know the movie we're talking about today?
Napoleon Dynamite, if I'm correct, right?
Yeah, we are. I had to check for a second there. You're right. Yeah. So, let's get into the basic info. Rated PG, directed by Jared Hess, who also co-wrote it with Jerusha Hess, his wife, and released in theaters on June 11th, 2004. It's crazy. It's been 20 years. With the runtime of an hour and 26 minutes, with a budget of $400,000. They know how much it grossed worldwide, Sergio?
How much?
$46 million.
My God.
I know, right? It's so much.
It's crazy to think of how much of an impact this movie has actually made, considering the low budget. And you can pretty much tell that there's not a whole lot in it besides just a really kind of plain story, but it has made an impact.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to get into that later. I have a whole category about that too. But let's get into continued basic info and get this over with.
Right.
The Rotten Tomatoes score has 72% for critics and 74% for audiences. So they're mainly hand in hand with each other. And let's get into the cast. We got John Heder as Napoleon Dynamite, Efren Ramirez as Pedro Sanchez, Tina Moriano as Deborah or Deb Bradshaw, Aaron Ruel as Kip Dynamite, and John Grease as Uncle Rico Dynamite. You want to hear some fun facts about the cast, Sergio?
Sure.
So, at one point, Jake Gyllenhaal was considered for the role of Napoleon Dynamite. He was Mysterio in Far From Home.
No, I know who he is.
Okay.
Chance.
God, you freaking idiot.
We're probably going to be doing that the whole episode.
Yes, probably. More likely, yes.
Anyways, I can kind of see it, but then again, he doesn't look as I don't think he could make the role as iconic as this actor. What's the name of the actor from Napoleon Dynamite?
John Heder.
I would say John Heder does a much better impression of what Napoleon Dynamite seems to be like.
Well, yeah, because they're the original characters. They're the ones to picture when you think of Napoleon Dynamite, you think of them.
No, I know, but I'm thinking about how I've seen him in this role and how I've seen Jake Gyllenhaal in his other roles.
You know, I can see what you mean. Like Jake Gyllenhaal is very charismatic.
Yes, and he also has this. He also can't put off the same face as a loaf as this one, as Napoleon has for his face.
Yeah, but after this movie, he was typecast as a Napoleon Dynamite type for every other movie he was in.
That makes sense.
All right. And also, Brad Garrett auditioned for the role of Rex. He enjoyed the script, but decided not to commit to the movie. Brad Garrett is the Jimmy John's guy.
You Jimmy John still waking up early, slicing veggies and meats by hand?
You ever seen this commercial where the Jimmy John... you know what? Never mind. I'm taking it out. You don't know who he is.
No, I've seen those.
Oh, okay. Jack Black almost played Rex too.
Rex?
Yeah, Rex Kwon Do. That guy.
Oh, okay.
But then he will later star in the director's next film, Nacho Libre.
Is it right if I compare the two?
You can absolutely compare the two, Sergio.
Okay, I'm going to get a little bit into the content of the movie.
Wait. Okay, then I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm going to let you finish.
No, I know. Okay, let's hurry up and finish the... Wait, should we just go ahead with the synopsis?
Yeah, that's actually
finish?
Next. That's all I was stopping you for.
All right. You want me to read it?
Yeah, it's like, let's make that your new thing. You read a synopsis.
All right, then. I'm going to try and do an impression of Napoleon on reading it to see if I can give it a go. A listless, alienated teenager decides to help his new friend win the class presidency in their small western high school, while he must deal with his bizarre family life back home. God, they're such idiots.
Tell me your thoughts about the movie.
All right, I did not expect to like this very much, mostly because other dry humor movies don't seem to rub me the right way, unless the main character, there's some characters that are more eccentric, that give off like energy in some way. But this one was surprisingly entertaining.
I told you. For years I told you this.
Oh, you didn't?
Yes, I did.
No, you just showed me one clip and said that I should watch it. And I said I'm not sure because I have nowhere to watch it.
What clip was it?
Then we just didn't talk about it for a very long time. You showed me the clip of him of him and his friend Pedro doing the bike stunt.
Oh.
So I want to start off with first comparing this to Nacho Libre, which is one movie from this director that I really like a lot, maybe because of nostalgia, but dry humor movies usually don't rub me the right way, as I end up questioning what's happening because of basically just dry humor. But with Nacho Libre was different, and I was able to be entertained by it a lot more because the main character was so eccentric. So I wasn't expecting to like this one as much. But this one was weirdly entertaining. I'm not sure what it was, though. I'm not sure if I would watch this movie again, though.
That you won't watch it again?
Yeah.
What? Why?
Because I don't want to sit through all the, moving the food plates all over the place.
Oh, it's like the opening scene?
Yes, the opening scene with him just taking out a bunch of food, putting it in place, putting it down, then letting us read the names, and then taking it back. I found that weird. I wasn't sure what to expect from the movie when it started off as that. I was like, what, is he going to be some kind of chef? Are you talking about the kind of foods they're going to eat or what? It gave me a false sense of what the movie was, and that confused me. As it went on, I did enjoy how Napoleon interacted with some of the other characters.
I liked how, if you notice, all those food plates that they have in the movie, every character eats that in the movie. Deb eats the peanut butter sandwich. Pedro eats a corn dog, and DJ Bader has a ninja star because he works with Rex Kwon Do. I thought it was really smart.
Oh, okay. Now I see it. I did not get that the first time.
Yeah, so you see, little things that make it funnier for me. I got some notes about the opening scene too. Like, they actually partially reshot some of the scenes because the executives at Fox Searchlight did not like the look of the actors' hands. So they flew out a hand model to reshoot some of the shots for the director. I thought it was a really smart opening.
It is smart, but you would have to watch this movie a couple times to actually get what it's referencing.
Yeah, that's a good thing. The rewatchability makes it better to watch more than once. This is the era of DVD, Sergio, where you can rent it on Blockbuster and watch it. Which makes me I think I should start talking about how I got introduced in this movie then. So, it was around the early 2010s. I was in elementary school, and on TV one day, they were showing a TV show called Napoleon Dynamite.
Napoleon Dynamite is coming to Fox. Oh, my junk. And he's bringing along his entire original crew. Sweet.
It was an animated TV show, and I had no idea who Napoleon Dynamite was. I watched the first episode. I'm like, I like this. All right, where's the next episode coming out? And the next one, and so on and so on. Then after 6 episodes, done. Nothing else. Ever. They canceled it.
How come? Was it because of budget issues or because the TV show didn't really go anywhere?
Well, the reason why they had is because it was a filler season for Family Guy when they're between seasons.
So they just created this so they have something to put on the runtime between Family Guy when it was still creating its shows.
Yes.
Episodes.
Like it was between seasons.
Okay.
And they messed the schedule so many times with the Napoleon Dynamite show that it came on after like sports games. So you might even miss it because it might run overtime.
Okay.
So yeah, it was not treated well by the studio.
All right. I do have several questions about the things they do in this movie.
All right.
I'll start with what's first happening on the screen for context for everyone. Napoleon Dynamite is singing in the bus, and he throws a toy outside the window with a string. I don't get that. Is that something funny to do on the bus or something?
He's quirky, Sergio.
No, I get he's quirky. I just don't get what was fun about that. Was he trying to accomplish something, or was he just trying to do something fun?
It's just a way to pass the time.
By throwing a toy outside the window of a moving bus with a string.
Yes.
But he's not even looking at it.
Yeah, but you hold it in your hand, like vibrating in your hand. I can see exactly where he's coming from this.
That's why I'm asking you about it.
I'm telling you why, and you're still not agreeing with me.
No, I'm saying I don't get it.
What don't you get?
I don't get the purpose of it. I don't see how it's fun.
It's passes the time. It's like having a hand out the window and move your hand up and forward, back and up and down. It's just a way to pass the time. It feels fun. It's cool.
But then couldn't you just do the same thing by just putting his hand outside the window?
What do you want from him, man?
I just want
What do you want him to do? Put his hand out?
That's the whole point of me asking this. I want to understand his actions.
You don't need to understand his actions. Just see him that this is him. He's doing his own thing. He plays tetherball by himself. I understood that. I played tetherball by myself. I did things like he did when I was his age. Not actually way younger, but that's another level on this. But still.
Wait, how old is he in this movie?
He's in high school in this movie.
No, I know he's in high school, but is he like what? A freshman?
Junior.
Junior?
Yeah.
So he's supposed to be like what? 17?
Yeah.
Some of these actors look way older.
He was 26 when he filmed this.
No, I get that. That's what I meant.
Pedro was 31.
Also, is it confirmed that he has
I think I know where you're going with this. And no, they don't acknowledge it. I mean, they don't flat out say it.
I thought that he would have a reason for the way he acts because, like you said, he's quirky, but there's no explanation to his actions other than he's just quirky. That's just how he is. So I just wanted to know if there was anything deeper to that or if it was just surface level.
I think it's just him. Like, if you notice, the whole town, no one actually acknowledges that he's weird. They're just all quirky in their own way. Like, his brother's quirky. His brother's the same way as he is.
Yeah, and also his uncle he's always so focused on his past with his football career.
Coach would have put me in fourth quarter. We'd have been state champions, no doubt in my mind. You better believe things would have been different. I'd have gone pro in a heartbeat. I'd be making millions of dollars and living in a big old mansion somewhere.
I think that's almost everyone who has regrets to the past so much that they just feel like they've hit rock bottom. I suppose it's just that I've never met someone like this who doesn't have a reason for the way they act, that it's jarring for me because I've never experienced this before. Also, I have expected Pedro to not actually understand a whole lot of English when he was first introduced, because of the fact that the principal, I'm not sure if it was a principal or a teacher. The principal was having such a hard time actually explaining to him where his locker was.
I have a thing about Pedro in this movie. I want to know what do you think about it, because there's a couple of things that he does in this movie that I was confused by or didn't know why he did. Like, later in the movie, he shaves his head because he was hot.
When I came home from school, my head started to get really hot, so I drank some cold water, but it didn't do nothing. So I laid in the bathtub for a while, but then I realized that it was my hair that was making my head so hot. So I went into my kitchen and I shaved it all off.
You know, I actually have had an experience like that, actually.
Really?
Yes. When sometimes I go for very long times where I just don't cut my hair because I don't like the feeling of feeling itchy when the hair gets on my clothes or under my clothes and it gets all itchy on a hot day. So I don't usually cut my hair all that often. But when it does grow out and it does get hot during the day, I often feel like really, really hot. Like it feels like insulated on my head, like I'm wearing a beanie.
Oh.
So it could be for that, but I do not know why he came to the conclusion to cut his hair. It could be that his hair was just too long, and for some people that's just uncomfortable. So that was my reasoning for it, anyways.
So let's talk about the characters. We already talked about Napoleon Dynamite. We talked about Pedro. Let's talk about Deb. What do you think of her?
That's the girl with the ponytail to the side, right?
Yes.
At first, when she was introduced, I thought she was just a shy girl new to the neighborhood or something, or just trying to make some money because, as she said, she's trying to save up for college.
Her mom goes to college.
God, Chance. But I got confused when she turns out to be the same way as Napoleon and Kip, and I thought it was like, oh well, she's gonna be his love interest, I guess. And obviously enough that, and pretty much as expected, that's kind of the whole direction they go in. Yeah, I did like how she had her own thing with photography. It was only in a few scenes, but they did do a good job of explaining her character besides just being the girl next door.
In the show, they expanded on it a lot more. Like in the show, she has a huge crush on Napoleon throughout the whole thing. Yeah, we're gonna talk about the show later. I'm gonna stop bringing it up. I like Deb in this. You know what? I'm gonna just flat out say I love this movie. It took me a while for me to get acclimated with it because after I saw the cartoon, it took me a while for me to adjust watching this because it's not the same tempo as the show. It's a lot more slow, a lot more dry humor, and I was an 8-year-old kid watching it on DVD. So yeah, it didn't grab me at first, but then I rewatched it over and over again. I'm like, okay, I get it now. I get it. So if I drop the TV cartoon ever again and before we start mentioning that category, let me know, okay?
All right.
Thanks, man. But I like Deb in this. It was a small role, but I liked that it was sort of an awkward romance between them in a way where you could tell that she agreed to go to a dance with Pedro, I think because to make Napoleon jealous.
I didn't really see it that way. I just thought that she was just asked out and she wanted to go. Because you don't really have to go to the prom with someone you're interested in. It could just be a friend.
Right. But this is also coming from me seeing the TV show. So maybe I'm using my...
I know. I'm just saying that from my experience because I've never seen this show and this is my first time watching this movie.
Okay. What do you think of Uncle Rico?
Uncle Rico, at first, I didn't know what to think of him, but as time went on, his character really grew into its own thing. Because at first, I thought he was just going to be this weird uncle that just hangs around the house, trying to be like this hyper masculine kind of attitude thing. But he actually goes out and does stuff, so that actually made me pretty interested to see what kind of trouble he's going to get into. Because as soon as he starts doing all this stuff, I knew like he's going to get into some serious trouble. I know.
Oh yeah, and there's one point in the movie where I felt so creeped out by him. I think it was the same one with you too.
Was it the same with him and Deb?
Yes.
You know, Deborah, you have striking features. Such a soft face should be complemented with a soft body.
Oh yeah, it got so weird out. He just stood there and was talking to Deb, but it's clear that he wasn't paying attention to what she was thinking.
Mr. Rico?
My friends and clients, they call me Uncle Rico.
I got so scared for a second because I thought like, wait, is this going to take a dark turn?
No, this is rated PG. Calm down.
I know. I didn't see. I forgot to check the rating before I watched it.
And this movie would not be as popular as it would be if they did do what they did.
True.
They would not make an animated TV series if they did what they did.
Also, why did Deborah think that Napoleon thought of her that way if his uncle gave her the flyer on herbal enhancement?
He was trying to make a buck. He wanted to make the money, that's all.
No, I know that's what Rico was trying to do. But why did Deb come to the conclusion that's what Napoleon thought of her?
That's what he said.
What did he say?
He said Napoleon was the reason why. Like, Napoleon gave me the idea.
Oh, okay. I don't remember that.
I believe that's exactly what he said. Oh my God, I'm not sure now. You got me questioning now. Wait, I'll be back.
Napoleon told me you'd be interested.
I told you, Sergio. He did say Napoleon would be interested in this.
Oh, okay. I must have missed that because I was so weirded out what was happening on screen.
Understandably so.
Anyway.
Let's talk about Kip.
Wait, I do have one other question about Rico. Who was that girl that came by at the end of the movie to see him when he's in the middle of nowhere?
His girlfriend?
Was she mentioned before or?
I don't think so.
It was just that she came out of nowhere and I was like, did I miss something? Did he talk to? Is that some girl he met before? I was so confused.
Who else is there? Yeah, let's talk about Kip. I liked Kip.
Kip is funny, but I'm even more confused about him than I am with any other character.
Why?
Well, first off, I'm confused on what it is he's trying to do. Also, how old is he?
31.
And he's Napoleon's brother.
Older brother.
And he's supposed to be, 18 in this movie?
31.
No, Napoleon.
17.
They're like 20 years apart.
Yeah.
Am I thinking too hard on that?
Yeah.
Also, why is it that the kid doesn't have a car or even a job?
Well, it's a small town. One thing about this movie I like to point out is like the small town aspect of this movie. People always say with certain movies or shows, like the city's a character. With this one, the city is a character. The little town is a character. But that I mean like the vibe of the house. It's like time stopped in this town. It's one of the small rural areas in the mountains in Idaho.
Isn't that just due to the fact that the time period this place is coming out from?
No, it's 2004.
The period from which it's taking place in. To me, it feels like the 80s.
That's the thing they never tell you. It could be a period piece, or it could just be at that current time, but no one has current technology because of the rural area. It's ambiguous.
I know. It's just that I've been to places like this and they have internet.
Me too, Sergio. My family's in Louisiana. I go there all the time. There are some places that are like this.
That don't have internet.
Not really good internet, but they have internet in this movie. That's how you met LaFwanda, through a chat room.
Have you ever used a chat room?
Sergio, have you ever used a chat room?
No.
Do you know what a chat room is?
Not specifically, no. I've heard of them, but I do not know anything about them.
Okay. A chat room is basically a place where you find the perverted people on the internet that want to do weird things. That's what it is nowadays. Look on chat room and you see a lot of disturbing things you never want to see the rest of your life.
Why are you telling me to look on it then? You want to keep going on with this?
Yeah.
Can we talk about Trisha?
I mean, if we want to, I mean.
Actually, there's not that much to talk about her.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty mean, but that's mainly it. Like, it's all out of pity.
I don't think it's mean because most of the side characters that even make an appearance, they don't really do much besides be background characters.
Except for Trisha and Summer.
All right, but can you tell me what they do? Well,
Pedro has a crush on Summer. He has to ask her to go to a dance, and Summer is like, "Hey, can you get us to Pedro?" It has a heart and everything under her name, but it just says no. That's all it says.
And that's it.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I mean. These other characters, they do have appearances. They do something, but other than that, they just kind of blend into the background after a while.
But then again, I'm thinking of the TV show again. I gotta stop thinking about the TV show with this. I gotta think about this movie by itself.
Also, I'm curious to the fact that Napoleon draws all this fantasy and what do you expect a nerd to be into during the 80s, I guess? Even though, like you said, yeah, like how you said before, this movie is very ambiguous with its time period. But we don't really see him interacting with that kind of genre much. We just see him at school doing stuff besides that.
Well, he's a nerd. He just likes those type of things. He's not going to always go out there and do things. He might have. There's only one TV in the house, and I don't know how to put this, man.
I know. It's just because even back then, people like you and me, we would get like posters or like maybe little trinkets of the stuff we like. But it's just that I'd never seen a Napoleon with anything like that. So I was just curious.
Well, yeah, but we never seen the inside of his room except for one shot with him dancing.
Mm-hmm. He's a surprisingly good dancer, actually.
Yeah, for that dance scene at the end, they actually put on a bunch of songs and just had him dancing and put the best ones together into one song.
Makes sense, actually. It had a very oddly heartwarming kind of ending.
I felt like this whole movie was pretty heartwarming or funny. I mean,
it was more funny to me. I'm not sure how I felt if it was heartwarming because of the fact that Napoleon never changes his expression.
Yeah, but he goes through emotion. You see how he feels some things.
I can't tell if he's feeling something or if he's bored with something. That's how I felt throughout the entire thing. I can see him through his body language, but when I see his face, it's just the same expression. That's what threw me off from what he was feeling or what was going to happen. Because some of the characters like him, Pedro, even though he has more expression, and Kip, they don't really do a whole lot of expression through their face.
Yeah, but you can see based on how they talk, you can tell how they are feeling. You want to talk about Rex?
Which one's Rex again?
Rex Kwando!
Oh, yeah. He reminds me of Duff Man.
Because of the red and blue?
No, his attitude and the way he speaks.
You're going to learn to discipline your image. Do you think I got where I am today because I dress like Peter Pan here? Take a look at what I'm wearing, people. Do you think anybody wants a roundhouse kick to the face while I'm wearing these bad boys? Forget about it.
Oh. Well, he reminds me a lot of Batman.
Is it because of his deep voice?
Yes, also because the actor played Batman in the TV show, animated TV shows.
What was his name again? Oh, man, I know. I remember him. Didn't he pass away?
Diedrich Bader. No, you're thinking Kevin Conroy. This is Diedrich Bader.
Oh, okay. Wait, in which animated show did he do?
Batman Brave and the Bold, I believe. He's done Batman work.
Now I can see that. Yeah, I can see that him doing Batman Brave and the Bold.
He also was in Shazam 2 as the principal.
Oh, was he the one who got thrown off the roof?
Yes.
That's sad. I'm sad now. God, Chance, why you gotta be such a downer?
It's not my fault you're a freaking idiot.
I do want to point that out. I did find it weird that we don't actually know why Uncle Rico is so obsessed with the past of his football career. And throughout the movie, I was expecting this, but it's oh jeez. I would expect it to be put off by Napoleon's lack of energy and lack of expression.
Maybe I guess that resonated with me a lot more because I sort of see where it's coming from. I'm not going to go into a great reason why, but
oh, this is my favorite scene. Sorry, but
oh my god,
the farmer is getting ready to put his cow down, and then a bunch of kids come in the bus to watch, and they see him as he does it.
You know, actually, John Heater actually said that was based on that true life experience of his, the director.
Oh,
so I paused it right where the bus was driving by because if you look in the window, you can see the camera and the people in front of it.
All right.
There's a lot of instances in this movie where you can see the cameras.
Okay. I mean, that makes sense because of the fact that this has a very low budget.
So low. $400,000.
Also, why did they make this scene of these girls and Napoleon singing this song in sign language?
That's just an extracurricular he does.
No, I know, but why was it put into the movie?
Because
it adds nothing to the story and it doesn't come up later.
He's doing what he likes and he doesn't care what anyone else thinks. And that's actually pretty cool.
Honestly, I couldn't tell if he liked it or not.
Because of his facial expression?
Yes, as I said before, his facial expression makes me confused on what it is he's feeling. At certain parts of the song, it seemed like he was into it, but then there were sometimes like you see like this where he's just kind of going with it. I see that as someone who is like really bored of what's happening.
I think he's just passionate about it, but just not really gonna show it, if it makes any sense. But then again, I'm gonna say that I'm gonna call it the elephant in the room. Me and you, Sergio, this is our high school story.
I feel so. Yeah.
Yeah, we say that a lot on the show, like how we connect to the two main characters of a movie. But I think this one hits more at home for me because it's just how we are talking to each other when we're like just chilling at school.
So me and you are pretty much friends by now, right?
Yes.
So you got my back and everything?
What?
Never mind.
I say this movie resonates more with you than anything else. Seeing as I see more of your kind of train of thought or your kind of attitude in this represented in this movie.
Okay, so let's see what else will we talk about.
I think that's about it. There's not a whole lot to talk about in this movie besides the characters themselves.
Oh.
I would say this movie is more character driven than anything else.
Okay, now I know what to talk about with Pedro. So while he was trying to promote himself as campaign for himself for student body president, yeah, he makes a pinata that looks like one of the students at the school, Summer.
Yes, who's also running for presidency.
Is that offensive?
How?
He made a pinata in front of the school.
I don't think so. He says that he used to live in Mexico before this.
Yeah. So
and back then they and there was actually a lot. If you don't know Mexico, it does have a lot of history with corruption and how they actually do this sometimes too, especially with certain political figures or whenever they're trying to threaten someone. But yeah, I don't necessarily see it as offensive.
I didn't know. I couldn't tell. Because the only Mexican kid also is making a pinata in front of the school, and I'm saying I don't know how they do it in Mexico, but you can't do that here in Idaho. That's what the principal says. Yeah,
yeah. He says that you can't destroy a pinata that resembles another student in front of the school. It was not because he made the pinata; it was because he made it that looks like another classmate, and they did it in front of and they destroyed it in front of the school, which could be seen as a threat.
All right, then. Okay. All right, then. I think we should do our ratings.
All right. I did enjoy this movie, but I think I might give it a 3 out of 5.
You want to expand on that or you want me to go next?
No, we already talked about a bunch of stuff that we liked and didn't like in this. Oh, wait. But there is one more thing I want to talk about. Is that a llama or an alpaca that they have on the farm or just near the fence?
I think it's the llama.
Why do they have a llama? That's been bugging me because it was funny when he came out and he said, "Come get your dinner." Then he starts just throwing the food at the llama. And I was like, why do they have that?
Because it's grandma's.
No, I know it's the grandma's. And when she comes back, she does seem to like it a lot, like it's her pet. But why do they have it just tied up to the fence?
Or they can leave it loose in the house?
don't they have an entire field right there?
Well, yeah, it's a big field.
Yeah, they could literally let them run around, and they don't run very fast. They're not like horses. They're like more like a donkey. They don't run anywhere. They don't run fast. They just mostly stay in a certain area.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, that's what I was questioning about it. I was like, why do they keep it around? Do they use the wool for clothes? Does it give them what do they have it for? I just got so confused when I saw it on the TV. I mean, on the movie. I was like, what is that?
Right.
Anyways,
actually,
your ratings?
Let's go with the ratings. So I give it a 5 out of 5. It is weird. It is quirky. It is cheap. It is a lot of things, but I enjoyed it for what it was, and I definitely am willing to rewatch it again. The quotes, you can quote this daily. It has very memorable characters. I can remember them back and forth like the top of the back of my hand. The location is his own character. I love a lot about this movie, and that's some things aren't even verbal. It's more like visual. I mean, the film even looked just beautiful for how cheap it is. Every shot looks really well composed, and I miss that type of stuff where it's very cheaply made movie where it doesn't seem like it's bad how cheap it is. It's more like how much they made with the money that they had. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a lot of heart that went into this movie where a lot of other cheap movies don't have.
I'm not sure if it's hard. I think that they were able to come up with something by splicing a bunch of stuff together.
Yeah, that too. All right. Do you think we should go into trivia or should we go into... Actually, no. There's not really much trivia because I already said a lot of them when we did the episode.
Well, it's not, as I said before, there's not a whole lot to this movie. It's mostly just on the surface.
All right, let's do the quiz then.
Okay.
There's 2 quizzes. Do you want the tough quiz or the average quiz?
I don't even know what to say to that.
You had to choose.
I don't know what either of them are.
Do you want me to tell you the titles? Because the titles might help you.
Sure.
The Many Colors of Napoleon Dynamite is a tough one, and Napoleon is Dynamite is the average one.
Let's just go with the hard one then.
You sure?
I honestly don't know. So if you're going to ask me, just go ahead and just choose one for me.
All right. Question 1. In the opening credits, you can see Jeremy Coon's name, executive producer and film editor, on a candy box. What color is a candy box? Orange, yellow, green, or purple?
Jeez. I remember it. I think it was yellow.
Correct. Question 2. When we first see Napoleon, he's wearing a shirt with horses on it. What color is the shirt? Gray, light blue, brown, or red?
He wore a few shirts, but I remember most of him wearing the light blue shirt.
Correct. Question 3. Not only can you see Napoleon's school lockers in the movie, but you can also see them on the movie cover. What color are they? Pink, purple, and blue, red, orange, yellow, and blue, yellow, gold, and orange, or brown, tan, black, and gray?
Red, orange, yellow, and blue.
Correct. Question 4. Before Napoleon's grandma goes to the dunes, she leaves him a note on the refrigerator. What color is the teddy bear magnet holding on the note? Blue, pink, yellow, or green?
Don't so too much, but I'm gonna go with pink.
Wrong. Yellow. Question 5. What color is Pedro's sweet bike? Blue, orange, and black, brown and gold, or pink?
Orange and black.
Correct. Question 6. During Kip and Uncle Rico's glamour shots, Deb is wearing a fanny pack. What color is it? Red, orange, purple, or pink?
Pink.
Correct. Question 7. Uncle Rico and Kip go bowling to discuss their business. What color is Uncle Rico's bowling ball? Blue, red, black, or white?
Blue.
Correct. Question 8. What color is Kip's shirt when he is talking on the phone with Napoleon? Pale blue, tan orange, pink, or off-white?
Tan orange.
Correct. Question 9. When Summer gives Napoleon a rejection note for Pedro, she's wearing a hair tie around her wrist. What color is it? White, black, navy, or pink?
Pink.
Wrong. Black. Question 10. Final question. Rex wears the same pants throughout the whole movie. What colors are they? Oh, this is easy. Red, white, and black, red, white, and blue, black, gold, and silver, or yellow and black?
Hang on, I was trying to make sure I got the order. I was trying to remember the colors. Red, white, and blue.
Correct. Good job, Sergio. You got only one wrong. No, actually, no, scratch that, reverse it.
Got 2 wrong.
You got 2 wrong. But that's still really good, man.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's time for me to show you, just for a bonus for everyone, I'm going to show Sergio an episode of the TV show so he can get his opinion on it, because he hasn't seen any of the TV show, doesn't know anything about it except that it was a short-lived Fox sitcom. We'll be right back after this.
I'll miss you, Pedro. Thanks for taking me to Mexico.
That was my house.
So, Sergio, I should give people a rundown what we just watched. Okay, we watched an episode called Chronic of Love, and the plot of the episode is that the teacher at their school has a robot that assigns people their soulmates.
Their soulmates, yes. And how do we explain that? How do we explain what happens throughout the rest, or should we just leave it at that?
I guess we can leave it at that and just talk about it as we go along. It's a comparison to the movie and this.
Well, Napoleon and some of the characters are similar to the characters in the movie, but in this one, a few of them are kind of different, and the humor actually makes more sense in here because of the animated nature of the show.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to reiterate, this is my first introduction to Napoleon Dynamite. So you can see where I'm coming from this, why it took so long for me to get acclimated with the movie.
Yeah. But with the movie, everyone just seemed like Napoleon, just over it, just doing their own thing, where they just played their character and that's about it. Whereas in the show, it's pretty much the same thing as the movie, except a few key differences. For one, Deb doesn't really act like Napoleon, whereas in the movie, she does act exactly the same as Napoleon, even though she has her own interest. Kip kind of doesn't do anything in the movie other than say this is what he wants to do for now, and then changes between things that he wants to do, even though he can do them well. Whereas in this one, he does do one thing for the entire episode, but he does get really good at it.
He puts a fushigi ball, if anyone remembers what a fushigi is. If anyone remembers what a fushigi is, you deserve a senior discount.
And Pedro, he has less emotion in this show than in the movie. In the movie, I noticed that he was able to do a lot more expression with his face. Like you can tell when he's smiling, when he's interested about something. Or in this one, he kind of has that kind of face where he's just doing the same expression the entire time. Also, I noticed that Dom is
done.
Yeah, but very pink and pale.
Yeah,
like, it's almost unsettling in this show.
Don, you look pale and handsome as always.
Tans are for poor people.
And for Summer, she seems a lot more like a dumb blonde type character in the show. And Uncle Rico in the show, he seems way more scheming and kind of like a big jerk. Where in this one, he seems less harmful. He's less harmful and more of a just like this
get rich quick guy.
Yeah, like he's still a schemer, but he seems harmless in this one.
I think if you do an adaptation of the movie, it's just too fluid of animation for it. It's like not the same type of beat
style,
beat humor. Yeah,
tone. I mean, the humor is the same, but they really play into an animated kind of sense of the humor.
If I think of an animated Napoleon Dynamite TV show, I'm thinking of something like King of the Hill.
Oh yeah,
like a hybrid between King of the Hill and 12-Ounce Mouse.
All right.
You don't know what 12-Ounce Mouse is, do you?
No.
It's an Adult Swim show that looks really, really crappy. And it's just someone talking very, very chill, like very smooth and cool. It's hard to explain.
Can I help you? Yes, you can. Got a job for you. Okay. I'm hired. Businessman coming in today. Very important. Whoa. A real businessman? No way.
It's like a kid drew a mouse and it looks weird.
Okay.
Yeah.
This reminds me of that one show that you showed us about the grown man like voicing the 10-year-old. I forgot what his name went. That baseball episode.
Oh, your 10-year-old Tom?
Yes.
Oh yeah, but that had production value compared to this.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. I see that more as a Napoleon kind of style. Whereas this one, it is very smooth animation and pretty intriguing art style.
Yeah, I mean, you can see how mad I was when they canceled the show. This could have gone somewhere.
It could have. It seems very interesting, but I'm not sure if they could. But when did this come out?
Like around 2014.
Okay.
Man, the studio treated this badly. They treated it like a rebound. This is a rebound show.
Yeah.
Just until they get their main chick back and they just drop this like a bad habit.
Yeah. This also reminded me of some other adult swim shows, but the humor in here is surprisingly good, considering that, as I said before, this takes advantage of the fact that it's a cartoon to actually go ahead with all the ridiculous stuff that actually would happen in the movie, or even the stuff they say they would do in the movie.
If it's not clear now, I'm just gonna say I really do love this show. It's one of my favorite short-lived Fox TV shows.
All right, is that all we got? Is that all we got on this one episode?
Yeah, I might split this into 2 episodes.
He never did.
You know what? No, I could put in this one. It's pretty short. Yeah, this is all we got for today. I'm Chance.
I'm Sergio.
Have a cinematic day. Hey everyone, thanks for listening. And be sure to subscribe to our channel and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, X, and TikTok at Brick Wall Cinema. Have a cinematic day.